I walked into Backrooms expecting another internet horror movie stretched into 2 hours, and I walked out thinking, okay, Kane Parsons actually pulled this off. Before I get into it, like and follow if you're into movie reviews where we actually say what we think. So the movie follows Clark, a failed architect turned struggling furniture store owner who's already dealing with alcoholism, therapy, and a life that's falling apart. Then he discovers a hidden doorway beneath his showroom that leads into the back rooms, an endless maze of impossible office spaces and liminal rooms that seem to bend reality itself. What starts as curiosity slowly turns into obsession, and the deeper Clark goes, the more the movie starts asking whether these endless rooms are even real, or if they're a reflection of the walls he's built inside his own mind. And that's exactly why this movie works. The biggest strength isn't the monsters, it isn't the jump scares, it's that the backrooms never feel like just a creepy location. They feel like an extension of Clark himself. The guy is already trapped before he ever walks through that hidden doorway. He's stuck running a furniture store when he wanted to be an architect. He's divorced, he's drinking too much. He's sleeping in his own showroom. So, when he finds this impossible maze underneath the building, it almost feels like the movie is saying, you've been living in the backrooms long before you found them. That's a way more interesting idea than just making another monster movie. Chiwetel Ejiofor absolutely carries this movie. Clark could have just been another depressed horror protagonist, but instead he feels like a real person making bad decisions for reasons you actually understand. Even when he's dragging his employees deeper into this nightmare just to prove he's not crazy, you can see the desperation behind it, instead of just thinking he's being stupid. That makes a huge difference. The atmosphere is honestly incredible. Kane Parsons already proved on YouTube that he understands why the backrooms are scary, and somehow he made them even more unsettling on a bigger screen. Endless yellow hallways, empty offices that almost look normal until you stare a little longer, lights buzzing overhead, rooms that don't obey logic. It constantly feels like you're walking through somebody else's nightmare. The movie barely needs loud scares because the locations are doing most of the work. One scene that really stuck with me is when Clark tries explaining the backrooms to his therapist. He compares it to asking someone who's never seen a dog to draw one. They'd probably get the basics right, but all the little details would be wrong. That perfectly sums up the entire movie. Everything looks familiar until you actually pay attention. Even the transcript captures that strange explanation, and it really becomes the key to understanding the film. Now, it isn't perfect. The biggest thing holding it back is that this movie absolutely refuses to explain itself. If you're someone who needs every mystery answered before the credits roll, you're probably going to leave frustrated. Some characters could have used more development, and there are definitely moments where the movie chooses mood over clarity. I personally didn't mind that, but I completely understand why it'll divide people. Community reactions have been split between praising the mystery and wishing for more concrete answers. Real talk, this movie succeeds because it understands that empty space can be scarier than monsters. A lot of horror movies think louder equals scarier. Backrooms does the opposite. It makes you afraid of fluorescent lights, office carpets, abandoned furniture, and the feeling that you've been walking in circles for hours. That's not easy to pull off. It's also one of those rare internet adaptations that doesn't feel embarrassed by where it came from. Instead of trying to turn the Backrooms into some generic Hollywood horror franchise, Kane Parsons keeps the weirdness that made people obsessed with the concept in the first place. So yeah, for me, Backrooms gets an 8 out of 10. Not because it answers every question or gives you a neat ending, but because it takes a horror concept that honestly shouldn't have worked as a feature film and turns it into something that's creepy, psychological, and genuinely memorable. It won't be for everyone, but if you like horror that gets under your skin instead of just making you jump, this is absolutely worth watching. What about you? Did the ending work for you, or did you want more answers? Let me know. And if you like movie reviews that don't sound like a press release, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.